guys, this video has been requested pretty highly on my channel. Also, I've been receiving a lot of messages. My name is Andy from Indepth Investor. This channel is predominantly on everything investments, whether it's sports cards, NFTs, crypto, or real estate. I am in it for the long haul. I'm in pretty much everything that I just mentioned. Today I'm going to be talking about sports cards and why I believe the market is crashing. Here are the top 5 different reasons why I believe the sports card market is on a downward trajectory without an end in sight. Number 1 is oversaturation of cards. Ever since the pandemic happened and stimulus checks have been going out, people have started getting involved into sports cards because of the top influencers, but more on that later. Number 1, I believe, is the oversaturation of cards. Pokemon alone is printing 3.7 billion cards right now a year, and that is a massive spike. Pokemon did release a statement about a year ago saying that they were going to start printing more of the cards just because retailers were selling out of the products way too quickly. There was fights being fought in Target parking lot, Walmart parking lot. Here is a video on that.
Inside the Brookfield Target, it's 4 versus 1, about 30.
So that fight is actually pretty bad. Unfortunately, this is happening literally all over the states right now. Target has actually pulled the stuff off of their shelves, and ever since the pandemic, people have just started promoting it. You have people like Gary Vee, you have people like Logan Paul, you have people like Vegas Dave. Guys, these people are, everyone's bored at home, and you have big follower influencers kind of pushing this market, and it took the industry by storm. There's been a huge percentage increase in spike in sales, 115% on basketball sales on eBay alone, and that's just basketball, guys, not just Pokemon football, just basketball. 115% spike in the year of the pandemic. So number 1 was the saturation of cards. Number 2 is you have a lot of time on your hands during the pandemic. I would say pandemic, and you have also influencers kind of promoting it. So you're bored at home watching, you got to make some money somehow, you have a $1,200 check, and how do you flip that? How do you flip the 12 into 24? Very easy. You have a ton of time to look at TikTok and see these influencers kind of promoting this, and so you get involved. And so now you have a massive bubble because everybody's throwing free money into this market. So during this time with Gary Vee and Logan Paul promoting this stuff, what happened is the Michael Jordan cards are selling for an all-time high for $707,000. Then you have Zion Williamson cards selling for more than what Michael Jordan cards sold for. As you can see here, you have Zion Williamson 115% spike as well in their cards. The base, guys, the base card went up to about $750 to $800, and yes, I was the one who purchased at $650. Right now, the price is all the way down to about $180 to $200 for his graded 10 base card. So a lot of people lost a lot of money, but more on that later. Another reason why I believe that the market is going down is because PSA had a number of cards, an influx of cards coming in, and they were starting to grade about 20,000 to 35,000 cards a day right now. So they had to stop their grading platform so that they can catch up with all the amounts of cards that are coming through. So everybody's grading their cards, and when it stopped, it kind of shut up the PSA cards because you couldn't get another graded PSA 10 Charizard. There was a limited number of them. And after they started opening up back up and catching back up, they started to release these cards back to the owners, and the owners wanted to put it on the market, and so you had an influx of cards hitting the market all at the same time, and so now the Charizards are not worth as much. As you can see, I lost a ton of money on the Zion card. That was pretty huge for me. Which leads me to number 4. The reason is people are losing money. So, for example, I lost about $500 on the Zion Williamson card. I lost a lot of money on it. I bought it at hype. It was $650 when I bought it. I should have just sold it right away because it went all the way up to $800. But I decided to hold it because I want to do this for the long haul. And unfortunately, that bit me in the butt because now it's $180. And so the reason number 4 is on the list is because people are losing money and stepping away. They can't accept failure, and they quit while they're losing. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I lost X amount of money, so I'm just going to not get into the market anymore. So now you have people pulling away because they've lost some money, and on top of that, you have an influx of cards hitting the market, which is causing the supply to go up and the demand to go way, way down. And lastly, guys, what I believe is hurting the market, number 5, is the NFT. NFTs is non-fungible tokens, and you have influencers now switching from sports cards like Logan Paul, Gary Vee, and they're now talking about the NFTs. So everyone's moving to a digital form of assets and digital form of investing, which is the NFT, whether it's land or whether it's art, whether it's gaming, stuff like that. So whether it's utility gaming, people are not focusing right now on sports cards. Right now you have a massive, massive, massive crash happening in the sports cards market. I would not involve my money into it right now. I would wait for it to be corrected, and then you have a market that is sustainable and that is only going to go up from there. But first, let it crash. In my opinion, let it crash before you get involved with it. So let me know down below what you guys have invested in yourself. What was your biggest loss in the sports cards market? Mine was definitely the Zion Williamson. Yeah, I lost a lot of money on that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to keep going. I love sports cards. I love to collect. So I will see you guys on the next one.